Hey everyone, it's Andrew here from AppleInsider, and this is my HomePod. Today we're going to be comparing this HomePod against the new Symfonisk speakers, which are a combination of work between Sonos and Ikea. And honestly, they look a little bit similar. We're going to compare the two speakers side by side and see if either of them is going to be a fit for you. Let's go ahead and dive in. To start, let's go ahead and take a look at the similarities between both of these speakers. Now, both of these smart speakers are over the internet, so they don't work over Bluetooth. There's no direct peer-to-peer connection. They all work over internet, which is generally going to be Wi-Fi for most people. Both speakers can also be paired in stereo, so two of them together to create a stereo pair, and they can each be tuned, though the HomePod does it through its internal microphone array, and the Sonos does it through its own TrueTone software that runs through your phone as you move about a room. They can stream Apple Music natively, and both can be controlled through AirPlay 2, and they both work with HomeKit, which means with iOS 13 they can be integrated with scenes. So in the morning you can wake up to your speaker playing and your lights gently coming on. Now let's take a look at what the HomePod has that the Symfonisk speaker just doesn't. Starting off, the HomePod has a touch-sensitive top surface to control rather than physical buttons. It's also completely omnidirectional, with sound coming out of every different side, and it's even tuned to more fill a room if it's against a wall. There are microphones in there, which means that it can take phone calls, and those are used for Siri. So it does have a smart assistant built in that can do a ton of different things. It can automatically play your stuff just by talking to it. You can get set timers, ask questions, all the different things that Siri can do. All of that is going to be baked in the HomePod. So if you want a speaker that's able to control your home and actually have a smart assistant built in, then the HomePod is definitely the way to go. However, if you're cautious about putting microphones into your home, even if it is from Apple, which is going to be pretty much as secure as it's going to get, then you want to stay away from HomePod and other ones, and the Symfonisk is maybe a better option. There's also multi-user support here, so including Apple Music libraries. So with iOS 13 and the new HomePod update coming out this fall, multiple users will be able to converse with HomePod and get answers to their own questions. It just plays Apple Music and radio natively, and everything else through AirPlay 2. So when you ask it to play something, that'll go through AirPlay 2 and Apple Music, but third-party stuff, Spotify, all of the other social streaming services, those are going to have to go through AirPlay 2, which is a little bit more of a hassle. And with iOS 13, you can hand off your content going from your phone straight over to the HomePod. So if you are taking a phone call, if you're taking a phone call on your phone, you walk up to your HomePod, just put it on the top, and it'll transfer that audio over. It can be a phone call, it can be music. Really easy to hand off your audio from your phone to your HomePod or your HomePod to your phone. That's coming out this fall, and it'll be a really nice update. So now let's go from the HomePod and let's check out what the Symfonisk speaker has that the HomePod simply doesn't. The Symfonisk speaker has no microphone embedded inside. So if you're very privacy minded, that's gonna be a really good thing, because there's no way for this to listen in on you. But that also means there's no assistant, no virtual assistant to help you out. So all of your controls you're gonna have to do is using the buttons on the speaker or through the Sonos app. Speaking of which, there are those physical buttons right there on front, play, pause, as well as volume up and volume down. So that could be good, could be bad, depending on your perspective. It also has that Ethernet port built in. So if you don't want to go over Wi-Fi, you can still go over direct connection using Ethernet, something the HomePod does not have. It also has dozens of native audio sources. You can stream through Spotify, Apple Music, Prime Music, Tidal, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, Pandora. There are tons and tons and tons of audio sources that you can connect within the Sonos app, and all those will stream directly to the HomePod and not from your phone. So you can stream everything else through AirPlay 2, same as you can with the HomePod, but as far as those native integrations, there's a ton of them here with Sonos. So we've looked at hardware. They're both Wi-Fi connected speakers. One has a virtual assistant built in and all the features that come with that, and the other has additional features such as a lamp built in, so it can provide functional lighting and take up less space than the HomePod. But if the most important category to you is sound, then let's dive into that next. So sound from both is pretty incredible. They both sound very good, best in class audio for their size. But there are a couple key differences. One, Apple does a better job with sensing where it's at in a room. It does so automatically using the built-in microphones and makes the sound more immersive, like it's coming from all around you versus just from the front of a speaker. Partially because it's an omnidirectional speaker, and second because it can tune itself better. The Sonos Symfonisk Ikea speaker does a solid job, but just not as filling as the HomePod is. The HomePod also has much more bass and more full sound to it just in the first place. So if you're looking for the biggest, loudest, most powerful sound, that's definitely going to the HomePod. But it can be a bit punchy. So if you're watching movies or TV, or you have this in a bedroom, you may not want that really punchy sound. Even at low volumes, it's kind of just a little too powerful. So if you're looking for something for more of a relaxed situation, a bedroom, or something where you're gonna be listening at low volumes, then we probably have to give that to the Ikea Symfonisk speaker. So which one do you guys prefer? Both of these are excellent speakers. You really can't go wrong. It just depends on what you're looking for. Do you want the smart speaker with Siri and everything else built in? Or do you something that's a little more functional, a little bit more different, but still has a ton of variety and options and sounds great? Let me know down below in the comments which ones you prefer, or reach out to me on Twitter and let me know at Andrew_OSU. Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow AppleInsider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the AppleInsider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later. Which speaker do you like? Which one do you like most? Which one do you like? Go get mom.